Hey guys, it's Cody and I'm back here again for a new movie review. And I know I haven't done a review for a film in a long time, and the reason why is because whenever I do a review of a film, I like to wait until a movie has put an impact on me, or it's a film that I really enjoy before I do a whole video talking about it. And this is definitely one film that has left an impact on me because it's a great coming of age story, and I really enjoy coming of age stories of young people going through changes in their lives and just trying to find out who they are and trying to find out who they're going to be and the type of person they are. But the film that I'm going to be talking about is the 2004 film Saved. And this movie's got a great cast. You got Jena Malone, Mandy Moore, Macaulay Culkin, Patrick Fugit, Mary Louise Parker. Just an all-around great ensemble cast. And yeah, like I said, this is a coming-of-age story about a group of teenagers who are going through different changes in their lives, and they're trying to find out who they are and trying to find out how they fit into the world. And I relate to these types of films because I was somebody who struggled with identity. I still do today. I still don't really know exactly where I belong, and movies that deal with this in a great way is definitely films that I really do enjoy. But so like I said, this movie follows a group of teenagers, and they all go to this Christian high school. Now, I would like to say that even though this movie does have religious elements, but I will say that even though it does have these religious elements in it, you don't have to be religious to enjoy this movie. I'm not religious, but and I still really didn't enjoy it. I mean, it's more to be looked at as a coming of age story, but the characters start off as being Christians and being, they believe in God and things like that. And then as the movie goes on, they start going through these different changes. But like I said, it's about a group of teenagers that to go to this Christian high school. I'm not really sure if that's the proper word for it or the proper name, but it's basically a Christian high school, and they have seminars and they put on plays about God and Jesus and things like that. And the film follows Jena Malone's character, and her name is Mary, and she's this really shy, kind of quiet girl who, at the beginning of the movie, she's talking about how that she's of course been brought up to believe in God and believe in Jesus. She says that she has a great Christian boyfriend. His name is Dean, and she's best friends with Mandy Moore's character, who is her name is Hilary Faye, who's basically the popular girl of the school. She believes in God, she believes in Jesus, and she's of course dedicated her life to it. But at the same time, you can kind of feel that she does a lot of things because she's popular in it. She's got a lot of money, and her dad gives the school a lot of money so that she can help put up decorations for plays or pretty much anything big that the school is doing, she's involved in, and of course that's made her popular. So in one way you can kind of see how she of course believes in this, but at the same time she's also popular, and you can kind of tell it's kind of going through her head. She also has these two girls who are basically only popular because they're friends with her, and she basically treats them both bad. But Mary, like I said, she's best friends with Hilary Faye, Mandy Moore's character. And at the beginning of the movie, she's talking about this game that her and her boyfriend Dean do, where they go underneath the water in the pool and they tell each other secrets. And one thing I really enjoy about this movie is that I think it's very relevant of today because it focuses and deals on different subjects that are going on in the world today. And as I talk more about the movie, you'll find out what I mean by that. So like I said, Mary and her boyfriend Dean, they go underneath the water and tell each other secrets. Well, at the opening scene, Dean tells Mary that he thinks that he's gay. And this kind of puts her in a bit of a shock, and when she starts to come up from the water, she ends up hitting her head on the ladder and knocking herself out. And Dean, he comes out of the water and he tries to jump back in, but he ends up slipping and falling. And so there's this man who's working around the pool. He ends up jumping in, and he's got really long black hair. So when Mary sort of wakes up underneath the water, she thinks that he is a vision of Jesus. And basically Jesus tells her, oh, Dean needs you now, and he needs you to, help save him and stuff like that. So basically throughout next few minutes of the movie, she's trying to do different things for Dean to try and, I guess, help him come back from being gay. At one point, she is letting him like squeeze her boobs and things like that. Just things like that she's trying to find out. You're later, trying to figure out, if she can, I guess, de-gayify him is a term that I've heard, which is such a stupid term, because you can't de-gayify it. Anyway, but you're also introduced to the other characters of the film. You're introduced to Hilary Faye's brother named Roland, who's played by Macaulay Culkin, and he's in a wheelchair, and Hilary is always doing things for him, always pushing him around, in the wheelchair and stuff, and you can tell he appreciates it, but he also wants to be independent. He doesn't want to rely on her all the time, and she drives him around and things like that, and he wants to go off on his own and sort of be an independent person, but he's never done that before because she's always taken care of him. Until he meets this girl named Cassandra, who's kind of this rebel girl. She drinks, she smokes, and she's been sent to that high school, I guess, as a way of getting clean and getting good with God, or her parents sent her there. And he automatically finds her attractive, and they start hanging out and things like that. But back to, Mary and Dean. There's one point in the movie where Mary walks in, and Dean has just finished looking at a sort of a gay porn magazine, and she thinks that the only way to save him from it is to have sex with him. So they end up having sex, and then the next day, Hilary Faye and Mary are going to pick Dean up to take him to school, and when Mary comes up to the door, his parents are there, and they actually found the gay porn magazine, and so they sent him off to this reform school type place where they send drug addicts and people like that to help get them clean, because they think that sending him there is going to fix him in a way, which you can't fix somebody for that. I mean, if you're like that, you're born like that. But so this whole thing of Mary, she tells Hilary Faye, and she makes Hilary promise not to tell anybody, and so she's got this in her head that, she thought that if she had sex with him, then she would help him, turn him straight again. And, after seeing that vision of Jesus, she thought that, she had done what Jesus wanted her to do. And so she's, of course, starting to question things, like why didn't God help Dean, from going to this school, going to where his parents sent him, and it's all about her starting to question things. And while this is happening, a new character comes in named Patrick, and he is the pastor. Pastor Skip is his name, the pastor's son, and he's been going around the world sort of skateboarding for like charities, like skateboarding for Christ, I guess is what they call it. And Mary automatically feels attracted to him, and they all sort of start talking and things like that. And essentially the rest of the film are these characters sort of going through these types of changes. Mary's starting to question things. She's trying to deal with the fact that Dean is off at this school because he's now gay. Well, I didn't mean it like that, because he is gay because he was born that way, and he's just now finding out for himself. She's also attracted to Patrick, who is that's him right there. He's the only person in this movie that I really didn't recognize. This is the first movie I've seen him in. And then, of course, you have Macaulay Culkin's character, Roland, who is going off with Cassandra, and he's, they start hanging out, and he's starting to become more independent from Hilary Faye, and Hilary Faye, she knows that Mary's boyfriend, Dean, is gay, and she's ends up using it against Mary eventually, and they end up having like this prayer group session trying to help Mary, and she believes that since since Dean was gay, now Mary is now like sort of, I guess, tainted in a way. And there's one funny scene where Hilary and her friends actually grab Mary and pour into the van, and they try to perform an exorcism on it, which is probably one of the funnier scenes of the movie. But yeah, like I said, it's basically just these group of teenagers going through these different changes, going through different things, trying to find out who they are. And later on down the road, Mary finds out that she's pregnant, and she is trying to hide this from everyone. And Cassandra and Roland end up trying to help her, and it's just going through all these things. Each character is going through these changes that ultimately will lead them to understand who they are. And that's as far as the plot I want to go through. Now I want to talk a bit about what I really enjoyed about it. Now, like I said at the beginning of the movie, there are religious elements to it because all the characters start off as being Christians, and they're all at this Christian school. But I will say that even if you're not religious, or even if you're, like I said, even if you're not religious, I still think you would enjoy this film because it's more of a coming-of-age story than it is anything, and it's about these teenagers that are going through changes and they're trying to figure out who they are. And it's done in a very mature way, but it's also got some great funny moments in it, and it's just an all-around good movie. It's got great character development. Every character has this thing that you like about them. Even Hilary Faye, who's kind of like the most over-the-top type character, you still like her. And there's some good funny moments, comedic moments. There's one point where they're all having this group session, and Cassandra, she's the rebel girl. So what she does is she starts speaking in tongue, or that's how that they assume she is, which she's really speaking a different language. I'm not sure what language she's speaking, but she's doing it to mess with everybody, and she's really saying, I got a hot pussy, or something like that, something goofy. And Hilary Faye finds out that she's saying that, so she calls her out, and she ends up getting in trouble for it. But each character, like I said, has her own thing going on, and this movie really is about identity. I think it's about not really knowing who you are and being young and going through a lot of these changes and being scared by them. And as they go on, you start to find out who you are. And each character has their thing. Like I said, like Roland, he's now being able to go out with Cassandra and sort of being away from Hillary. You got Patrick, who his father, Pastor Skip, and their mother got a divorce, and his mother got a divorce, and so he's kind of going through that and dealing with that. Mary's mother is actually played by Mary Louise Parker, so it was cool to see her in it, and she doesn't know what's going on with Mary, but you can tell that she's really caring for her. She's actually starting to date Pastor Skip, so Mary sort of is dealing with that, her mother now dating the pastor at the school, and it's essentially just teenagers going through things. And I know there's so many movies that some of them do this great, some of them don't. This movie definitely does do it great. It's a great coming-of-age story, and it's one that if you're a fan of it, I do recommend it. And I've actually looked at a lot of reviews of this film, and it's actually gotten great reviews. Like, for instance, Rotten Tomatoes. I don't read Rotten Tomatoes, but when I was looking up reviews of this movie, because I enjoy knowing that a lot of people enjoy movies that I enjoy, and that the movies that I enjoy are liked by a lot of people, even the critics. And I even read from Rotten Tomatoes, they got a good positive score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is really cool. Now there were some people, religious people, who have seen this movie that were against it because the plot line goes against Christianity. So if you're somebody who's religious, I would say go at it with an open mind, because some people, they seem to really enjoy it. Some religious people enjoy it. Non-religious people enjoy it. But then there's some religious people who hate it because it goes against it. And it really just depends. But if you're a fan of coming-of-age stories, like I said, I highly recommend this movie. Also, I really, like I said before, this movie deals with things that are going on in the world now. Like, for instance, you got Mary, who's young and she's pregnant. There's a lot of young girls out there who are getting pregnant and either having to deal with that by themselves, or they have somebody. There's Dean, who's gay, and it's all about since he's gay, he's going against God, and it deals with that subject as well, and it does it in a very mature way. And it does it. Oh, sorry, my cat's knocking stuff over. And it does it in a really good way that I think the audience can really relate to and things like that. And it's essentially about, and that's why I really enjoy it, because this movie came out in 2004, yet a lot of the things that it talks about is what's going on in the world now. A lot of things that teenagers deal with every day. Being persecuted for being different. Dean was persecuted for being gay. Mary eventually becomes persecuted by Hilary Faye for being, for I guess going against God and getting pregnant, even though she didn't mean to. But like I said, it's definitely one teen movie that it doesn't preach to you. It doesn't say, oh, this is what you should think or anything. It's a movie that really, it has these characters, and it's up to you to decide whether or not you agree with them or you like them or not. And that's what I like. I like movies that deal with things like this, things with religion and sex and just everything, religion, sex, and things like that. And it deals with it in a mature way, and it's in a way that's likable because, and so I know I'm kind of babbling around, but I really do enjoy this movie, and I want to say if you're a fan of, like I said, teen movies, coming-of-age stories, then I highly recommend Saved. It's a really good movie. It's on DVD. I don't think it's been released on Blu-ray, but yeah, a really good movie, and it's one I recommend. Another thing that's kind of cool is Michael Stipe, who's the lead singer of REM. He actually produced this movie. So yeah, if you're a fan of that, then I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not a huge REM fan, but I really enjoy his music. I enjoy the music that I've heard from him. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan, but that's still pretty cool that he was involved. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Like I said, if you're a fan of coming-of-age stories of teenagers going through different things and trying to find out who they are and trying to find out the person that they want to be, then I highly recommend checking out Saved. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you have seen the movie, then let me know what you think, because like I said, I've heard so many people say they really love it, and some people don't like it, and I'm curious to know if you guys enjoyed it or not. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll be doing a few more of them. I don't do a whole lot of movie reviews, as I said at the beginning of this video, but if there's a movie that I really enjoy that has left an impact on me, I'll do a review of it. I've got a couple of ideas on some movies I do want to do reviews of. Some of them are movies that I'm sure a lot of people have talked about, but like I said, if a movie sticks out to me, and if a movie really makes me think and gives me a good feeling,